everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie and thank you for joining me today. I am going to be scrapping this beautiful cut file from the JustNick cut shop today, and unfortunately, okay, so this was the second time I cut it out, and it's my silhouette. Something's wrong with, I don't know how, it's off, so it doesn't cut center, so I'm not sure how, you know, it cuts everything sort of more to the right hand side of the silhouette. So it did cut off this little bit of the cut file. Excuse me. So I'm not too perturbed about it. I thought I could sort of off center my cut file in any case, and as you can see, I finally finished all the stitching. And there's sort of a gradient or ombre effect that I tried to create with a lighter purple, medium, and then very dark purple. And I traced one of the hexagons that's in one of the pattern papers that I just fussy cut out from the same collection as well. And it's just a simple back stitch. There's nothing to it. It just, I mean, anybody can do this. It just takes, it just takes a while. So, but I'm glad I did it because I like the effect. Oh, I just ripped that off. I like the effect that that gives. However, don't rip your cut files. Anyway. Okay, so my theme for this week is thankful. And last week I did a layout also to do with being thankful and all of that, and as I said last week, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving or but I have a lot to be thankful for in any case. So I've got these two photos of myself, and I want to be celebrating myself a little bit in this layout, and that's kind of what I've been doing with my whimsical collection. I've been using it just to scrap myself, and I'm not used to scrapping myself, and I've been doing that lately, and I think it's awesome if you scrap yourself. As I said in my previous video, that one day my kids, you know, if I don't scrap myself, one day my kids are going to look at my books or all the scrapbooks, and they'll say, "But mommy, where are you?" So I thought I would scrap these photos that my cousin took of me, and I'm just thinking which photo to use. Now, I love the purples and the blue in this photo. It goes very well with the purple in the background. However, the circular element in this photo with the record player goes very well with the sort of hexagon circular element of the cut file and of what's going on in the background. So I was thinking of putting my photo, sort of nestling my photo behind this cut file like that, so that I go in between the two little leaves, and then I'm looking that way. So my photo's on this side of the page and I'm looking that way. So if I am going to use this photo, I will be placing it on right about there, sort of nestling myself between the two leaves over there, and I'm looking that way, so it's on the left hand side of the page. I usually try to organize or situate my photos that they look into the page. If I put myself over here, then I'll be looking off the page on that side. So I'm going to try to, I'm not sure, I think I'm going to use this photo of the record player simply because, okay, so the circular element is really winning it for me at the moment. However, I also like the brown that it gives, and it also sort of has a very gold tinge, and so I can bring in excuse me, I can bring in a lot of the gold and the rose gold elements from this collection into this layout. The reason why I did hexagons in the back is when I saw this, because when I saw this cut file with the hexagon, two hexagons that's sort of overlaid, that's the first thing I thought of, is doing the cut file in white and then doing the hexagons in the back as sort of to complement the cut file. So this is really not going to be rocket science. I do this a lot where I have a very floral cut file and I basically just put my florals on top of the cut file, and this is a very easy way to embellish and to get some very nice effects on your layout. And you can do it at the behind the cut file as well, so that you can see the cut file better if it's got lots of color at the back. I really want to get that blue in. And here are two beautiful blue flowers. I'm going to be putting one over there and maybe one over there. And then, as part of this beautiful collection, you get a whole little baggie of leaves and sprigs. And you guys know how I love my sprigs. They add so much dimension and so much interest to your layout, these little doodles. Okay, so I actually want a lot of green, so I am just going to be placing the green. Look how nice this cut file goes with that, with the this die cut, the same line that the leaf follows. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys on fast forward and I will see what I can organize with my beautiful collection here. Okay, so as I put down my embellishments, I try to balance each color out on both sides of the layout. For instance, I wanted to add a yellow flower, so I had to balance the yellow out with another yellow flower on another area in the layout with something else that was yellow, just so that there would be some balance to the layout. I really wanted to put a little floral cluster there on the top left hand corner, excuse me, of the layout, but it just did not work. Then I went into the floral cluster embellishment pack of the collection, and I was just placing them on top of the layout. Now at this stage you could still see a lot of the cut file, but as I put down all my embellishments, the cut file sort of disappears, and I have to make a plan with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take everything off and then trace along the cut file. And I do this with just my Uniball roller Uniball pen, and it's not a super fine tip. I don't know where is my super fine tipped pen. The one I usually use, and I didn't want to use a Sharpie on this. My Sharpie, my fine tipped Sharpie has died. So I need to get a new one. So I just grabbed this, and this is what it looks like in the end. There is a lot more definition in the cut file, and you can actually see it now on the busy background, and you can see I'm very excited about what that looked like in the end. So as I put down all my embellishments on top and underneath the cut file, you are able to make out more of the cut file as I go along. I'm just going to be gluing the cut file down with just some liquid adhesive, and I am going to be popping some of the embellishments, especially the flowers, up on some foam squares, and I will be sticking down the leaves flat to the backing, to the background paper. I did add some tissue paper behind my photo just to add some texture. There was, I mean, it does stand out a lot because of the color of the photo, and it is a quite dark color scheme you've got going there, and it's very vibrant and bright. So yeah, so there you see I did my sticking and my gluing and so on. I'm just going to be going through the regular ephemera pack to see if there's anything else I want to use from this pack in the on this layout, and I really wanted to use a frame behind there, and this frame was perfect. The blue matched the blue in the photo quite nicely. And I also thought to myself, well, there's orange flower on this blue frame. Where else am I going to use it? Because it is quite a, it looks like one of those, an eye test where you've got a, what's brighter, green or blue? No, red or blue. So it's beautiful. So it reminds me of that and how, yeah. So I'm going to use the 3 butterflies in the ephemera pack as well. I'm just going to be scattering them around the layout. And I actually use mostly just ephemera on this layout. I didn't do any fussy cutting, which is very strange for me, because usually I fussy cut a lot on layouts, but for this layout I didn't fussy cut. I loved that red bird. It echoes some of the red in the little frame behind the photo, and also that reddish color flower at the bottom right hand corner of the photo. I also like the fact that the bird looked to the left, and it was looking in the, well, the bird's looking in the same direction as I am looking in the photo. So it almost looks like we're looking at the same thing. So I do create my little rule of thirds aspect on this layout with my butterflies. They are each in a different space on the layout. So they do create a little triangle there. I also like the fact that the little sprigs of the collection, their doodly lines match the doodly lines of the sprigs that I doodled on the cut file. So I'm going to be using that whole row of hearts. I love them. They also bring in that little bit of yellow, extra yellow. So as you can see now, there's a yellow flower on the top right hand corner by the bird, on the top bottom left hand corner underneath the purple butterfly, and then the third yellow element I bring then is that little yellow heart in the bottom right hand corner of the layout. So there's another little rule of thirds element that I brought in. As this layout is supposed to be something to do with being thankful and obviously Thanksgiving, and as I said at the beginning of the video, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I'm not American. However, I have a lot to be thankful for. So I'm going to be using the colorful thickers, in the colorful tiny little thickers in this collection, to write thankful for, and then I'm going to come in with some other thickers from the November kit, the November Family Traditions kit from Paper Issues. These thickers came in that kit and they are gorgeous. And I'm going to be writing the Dubai, the word Dubai, in those thickers, but I'm going to be using the inside of those little blocks. So the positive, if you know what I mean, and not the negative. Okay, so this is it for this layout. I hope you like what you see. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.